Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about the romantic compatibility between ENFPs and ESFPs. But before we dive into this topic, I would like to specify something about my book. It is written from a health science point of view, so we'll be looking at the anatomy, physiology, neurotransmitters, hormones of the 16 MBTI personality types, and based on this information you can determine your type. And since I advocate that like attract like, you can determine a person who is best matched for you as a long-term romantic partner. So that's important to say if you are interested in buying the book. Let's go back to the topic at hand, the romantic compatibility between ENFPs and ESFPs. So what do they have in common? First, they are right brain dominant. So these are feelers. So these are people who are empathetic, they tend to be kind, they come from the heart, so they will understand that about each other. The other aspect is that they are obviously perceivers. So these are people who like flexibility in their schedule. So they like to keep things open. They are energized by the unexpected. So these are people who like things that are fresh and new, and they will appreciate that about each other because they're going to give each other the space to actually be spontaneous. So the other strong point is that the ENFP is in essence the intuitive version of the ESFP. So if you look at their function exactly, that they both have introverted feeling as their second function, they have extroverted thinking as their third function, so they will feel that they understand each other on a number of levels. The other strong point as well is that they both have, again, extroverted thinking as their third function. So they tend to be rather logical compared to, let's say, other feelers who might have a thinking function as their fourth one. The other positive aspect of this couple is that they both have relatively good energy. Obviously, the ENFP being into feeler as among the best energies because they have an alpha brain dominance. So in other words, in terms of cycles per second, so around 10 cycles per second, whereas the ESFP has a slow beta brain dominance, so it's around 14 cycles per second. So if they spend time together, they won't drain each other. So that's, again, a positive aspect. And also, being perceivers, they tend to be open-minded, they tend to like adventure, and also the ENFP tends to have an artistic side. The ESFP is often, let's say, actors, singers, and so on. So they're able to share a number of their interests when it comes to entertainment or the arts in general. One of the challenges of this couple is that both the ENFP and the ESFP tend to be financially irresponsible, especially the ENFP. The ESFP, sometimes they're like that, sometimes they're not. So I would say that it would be a good idea if this couple would outsource the management of their finances so that they don't get into trouble. The other aspect also is that when it comes to organizational style, both of these people are not actually good at following through. So that may be an issue. Let's say if they're working on a project and to make sure that they meet the deadline on time. So that might be something that they may struggle with. The other point as well is that the ENFP, although is officially an extrovert, but because they are an intuitive feeler, is that their energy is higher than most people, so they may behave more like an introvert than an extrovert. And the ESFP is the quintessential extrovert, so they need to spend a lot of time with people. So they might have to come to a compromise in terms of how much time they want to spend alone or in a group, so that one doesn't drain the other. So that might be a challenge, but I think that they could work something out because I think that they have quite a bit in common. So overall, this is a compatible pairing because of the fact that they're both feelers, they're both perceivers, they have a number of functions that are the same. Essentially, the ENFP is the intuitive version of the ESFP. Yes, they might have some challenges in terms of how they manage their time and whether or not they're going to meet certain deadlines. So in other words, be able to be accountable for finishing their task on time. But these are things that they can outsource. And the other aspect also is that they won't drain each other because both tend to have rather good energies. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this compatibility analysis by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.